Shalom, everyone. Welcome back. Shalom, everyone. Welcome back. This week's Torah portion, we talk about the gift that God gave us to eat meat. That when we go into the land of Israel, we will be able to eat meat. Before that, in the desert, we were only allowed to eat the meat of the sacrifices. But this time, we were even able to eat chulin, which is non-sacrificial meat. As the Torah says, when Hashem, your God, expands your borders, namely when you come into the land of Israel and you conquer it, as he has spoken to you, and you say, I will eat meat because your soul desires to eat meat, because you want to eat meat. However, be strong in not eating the blood. Last time we talked about the prohibition of eating blood. So, what is the story with meat? Is it ideal? Is it not ideal? Under what circumstances are we allowed to eat meat? So we are told that in the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve were told that they can eat of all the trees of the garden of a paradise except for the tree of knowledge. So they were vegetarians. There was no meat, and meat did not come into the scene until after the flood with Noah. When God blessed Noah and said there will be no more floods, and as a gift of God's goodwill, he is now allowed to eat meat, just as the fruits and trees and herbs of the garden we were able to eat. So now we are able to eat meat as well. But when the Jews were in the desert, they did not eat meat, only sacrificial meat. So what's the story? Is it ideal to eat meat or not? What will happen when Mashiach comes? Well, when Mashiach comes, we will probably be vegetarians once again. Meat is something that God gave us as a gift. It is a concession to our Yetzer Hara, to our evil inclination. As a person has a need, a desire, a taiva, if you will, an innate desire to eat meat. So God said you can have meat, but it should be done irresponsibly. It should be done, the meat that we eat should be, if you're Jewish, slaughtered properly by a shochet and drained of the blood and prepared properly, and it should be eaten in a limited way, not in a gluttonous way. It should be eaten sparingly, with respect for the animal that gave its life for us to enjoy meat. Certainly on Shabbos, it's a big mitzvah to have a little bit of meat or chicken. Chicken in Judaism is considered similar to meat in many respects. So, as our sages tell us, "Ein simcha ela b'yayin, ein simcha ela b'basar." Happiness only comes when you drink wine and when you eat meat. Meat is sweet, it's delicious. A person has a natural, most people have a natural desire for meat. So if you do have a natural desire for meat, it's permissible, but it should be done sparingly in a limited way. There is a story told of the previous Lubavitch Rebbe sent an emissary to America, and he came back and he said that American life in can be summarized by the basic idea: in America, they eat meat every day, and this is something that was unheard of in Europe. Very, very unusual. Why is it that the Jews, when they entered the land of Israel, they were now allowed to eat meat, and in the desert they were not? Well, in the desert, the Jewish people lived a very, very holy life. They ate the manna from heaven, and all of their needs were taken care of, and they were literally in paradise or in heaven. All of their needs were taken care of. Their clothes were all freshly laundered all the time, and their health was perfect. And God blessed them every single day. When they came to the land of Israel, however, they were now going to be confronted with living in a very physical world where they're going to have to work hard and depend on the land, and they're not going to get the food given to them in a silver platter as it was in the desert. And therefore, their purpose in the land of Israel was to transform the physical world and make it into a holy place. And that is our job, to make the world, the physical world, into a holy place. We do not believe in removing ourselves from the world. We don't believe in going and meditating on a mountaintop and removing ourselves from the world and fasting and starving ourselves and things like that. Not at all. But we do believe in raising up the physical world and making it into a holy place. And meat has an important role in that position because we have all these animals walking around. And what does the animal want? Ultimately, the soul of the animal wants that should be used for a mitzvah, as every other creature, including man, in this world. The whole purpose is to be utilized for a mitzvah. So the animal is used for a mitzvah by milking it, by slaughtering it and eating it, by using the hides to make tefillin and mezuzahs and Torahs with it. So, therefore, the animal wants to be utilized in this purpose, does not want to die of old age in the field. And we help that animal to achieve that godly purpose by slaughtering it and by eating it. But again, in a responsible way and not in a gluttonous way. So that is the story with meat. And probably, God willing, when Mashiach comes, we will all be vegetarians once again and we'll be able to enjoy a delicious veggie burger and not have any tivers, any more desires, lustful desires for meat anymore at that time. Certainly, by the way, if a person does not care for meat or they do not feel that meat is healthy for them, they certainly do not need to eat it. And they shouldn't eat it. Even on Shabbos, if a person is nauseated by the idea of eating meat on Shabbos, they shouldn't eat it. It's only if a person really enjoys it. That is really when a person should eat meat. But certainly, we should not take the attitude that we are saving the life of the animal by not eating meat, and because of kindness to animals, that's not a reason for not eating meat at all. I want to wish you all a good Shabbos. Candlelighting in San Diego is at 7:25. Good Shabbos. Good Shabbos.